I had no confidence, and I was like, no one in social media wants to listen to someone over 40 anymore. That's literally what I believe. So Jay set me aside, and one by one, he poked holes in all of my bull. 2 weeks later, I put up my first Instagram post for a social media audience, and I got clicks, and I'm like, yes. And that was 2018. 5 years later, and now I have 3 million fans. And collectively, these 3 million fans generate 10 million in revenue a year, because every time I talk about a project I'm excited about, or I talk about my new book, they buy. How to get people to follow you on social media. Now, sometimes we kind of villainize this. We think it's all about ego. We think it's all about getting attention. No, it's not. No matter who you are, you want people to be recognizing you on LinkedIn, right? So they think about you. Maybe they want to hire your consulting business or hire you as an engineer. If you run a company, guess what? In today's world, you are the face of your company. And so if a company has a sucky CEO who is just not able to articulate the vision, it's going to be harder to get employees. It's going to be harder to get customers. Look at the recent trend of celebrities using their celebrity to create hot new products which are competing with massive brands. Gal Gadot, who is the actress who played Wonder Woman, launched her own macaroni and cheese brand. And she's competing with these big companies. Why? Because she has an audience. So you want to learn to build an audience. This is the second skill that Naval Ravikant, the great thinker, espoused. Now, I didn't think I could do this, but I knew it was important. In 2018, I brought in all the most brilliant minds I could find. I remember Brendan Kane was speaking, the founders of Goalcast was speaking, and this dude, Jay Shetty, was speaking. Jay Shetty had become the most followed personality on Facebook. In the top 20 Facebook pages, it was all brands and then Jay Shetty. He was even ahead of Barack Obama. So I interviewed him. You can watch this interview if you have a Mindvalley membership. And Jay goes deep on how his videos become viral. Observe Jay and observe me, right? I have no style. Like, look at that face. I have no style, I have no charisma, I have no idea how to dress, no idea how to speak. I don't even know what the hell I was doing. You can see the difference between me and Jay. And so after that, in a private conversation, I sat down with Jay and I'm like, Jay, I can't do this. And I had all of the excuses. I'm like, I don't have a good accent. You have that sexy British accent. I have no style. I have bad hair. His hair is just erect, like 3 centimeters high. No matter how hot it is, no matter how much the humidity, his hair just stays. I had no confidence. I was too old. That was my excuse. I was 42 years old. Jay was like 33. And I was like, no one in social media wants to listen to someone over 40 anymore. That's literally what I believe. So Jay set me aside, and one by one, he poked holes in all of my bull. 2 weeks later, I put up my first Instagram post for a social media audience, and I got clicks, and I'm like, yes. And that was 2018. Every week, I released one really profound, beautiful video to connect with my fans. The best places to build social media in order is this. Instagram and Facebook is still king. LinkedIn, if you're a professional, a consultant, an engineer, you want to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great for getting out to the business community. If you have a hot consumer product, you want to be using Instagram. And Instagram and Facebook are together because it's owned by the same company. They are linked. If you post something on Instagram, it goes on Facebook. Then there's YouTube, which is blowing up and getting bigger and bigger. There's TikTok and then podcasting. Podcasting is last because it is the hardest to break into. Almost everyone has a podcast. Don't waste time starting a podcast. It's more effective to go on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. But I want to show you how skill number 1 and skill number 2 can come together and amplify each other. You see, everything I'm sharing amplifies the next one. Okay, so this is a YouTube show I just launched, and I was interviewing this Emirati brilliant entrepreneur called Sarah Madani. So the show did really well. Clips of me and Sarah went viral, 20 million views, and this got lots of people to watch the full episode, about 360,000 people. Now I take the transcript of this and I stick it into ChatGPT, and to make sure it understands, I say, can you summarize this in 1,000 words? And ChatGPT, you can see, is so brilliant. It summarizes this 1-hour interview into 1,000 words, even nailing the key essence of Sarah's bio. But now I say, we want to turn snippets of this podcast into viral Instagram videos. What are the main factors you would look for in a podcast snippet here that can go viral on Instagram? Imagine you're a brilliant social media marketer and viral video storyteller. So here's the thing about ChatGPT. ChatGPT loves to get its ego stroked. You gotta tell it, imagine you are Steven Spielberg. Imagine you are Gary Vaynerchuk. Imagine you are Jay Shetty with his magnificent 3 centimeter erect hair. It will think like this person as long as this person has blog posts or articles about them online. And so ChatGPT now is giving me a guiding list. These are just 5 of like 8 points it published on what will make an Instagram video go viral. Now that I check that it understands it, I say, okay, now based on the above, can you suggest a snippet from this video with a high probability of going viral? What section or idea would you choose and why? Now Sarah shared 12 ideas. ChatGPT picked the idea that it felt would go most viral, and it did a pretty good pick. So now it explains the idea. Now observe how it's communicating with me. I would choose the snippet where Sarah discusses a unique approach to work-life balance and her commitment to taking care of her mental health. Okay, and then it goes on to say why. She says that she only works 3 to 4 days a week for 7 hours each day and dedicates an entire day to self-care. It picked the controversial text. Now I tell it, now let's work with that snippet. Exactly what lines from Sarah would we include? We can also do separate recordings of Vishen introducing or commenting on elements in the snippet. Imagine you're a creative director. Create a full script with new content for Vishen to film to introduce the snippet, and then extract from the actual podcast script I gave you. Put together a complete editorial script for us to turn into a viral video, and boom, there you go. Now I send this to a junior video editor, someone who just knows how to string bits of video together, and you have your viral snippet. An entire role within the company has been eliminated. The role of scriptwriter, sometimes the role of creative director, completely gone because you have ChatGPT. So ChatGPT one by one is replacing all the employees you would have. Future Mindvalleys will be built with no more than 20 people. And we as a company have to be very aware of that, because any one of you here could build the next great personal growth company if you learn these 4 skills. Okay, now, to get good on social media, it's not just about the algorithm. You gotta master every skill related to presence and presentation. I took public speaking classes. I signed up for acting classes, style and dressing, body language. All of this is trainable. Master voice training and language. I did all of this. I hired a style coach to learn how to dress. Look at videos of me before 2019. I have no idea how to dress. I was like a complete geek on stage. Body language. I learned with Linda. I interviewed her several times. Voice training and language. I actually learned to slow down my voice, learned to articulate better. Acting. I recently went to LA to sign up for 5 days of acting classes so that little nuances will make a difference in my social media. Do you know a great actor doesn't even blink unless it's a deliberate blink? Everything, every facial expression, every hand gesture is deliberate.